Hello, welcome back to another video. I hope you are having a lovely week. Today I'm going to be doing quite a juicy bit of everything fitness Q&A. It's quite a lot of like girly questions like to do with like periods, hormones. I'm just going to go in on this one. I've watched quite a few videos to do with like hormones, fitness in the past and found them so useful. So I just thought I would share like a bit of my experience, and a lot of the questions that I asked you guys on my Instagram were generally sort of like about them kind of topics. So yeah, before we dive straight in, I would really appreciate it if you could hit this video with a like. It really supports my channel and everything. And just to add, by the time this video is up, my volume 2 cheat code recipe ebook will be live, so I'm going to leave that linked down below. It's super exciting. It's jam-packed with some really yummy dessert recipes, so definitely check that out. And yeah, we'll just get straight into it. So I will get these up on Instagram. Don't know why I didn't decide to charge my phone before doing this video. We're currently on 13%. God, where to start? There are so many questions. I think this is the most questions I've ever had on like a Q&A. So thank you so much for sending in your questions. I'm going to try and answer as many as I can, as I know in the last Q&A I feel like I waffled on a bit, so I'm going to try be just like straight to the point and be as useful. Okay, first one that I've just seen. Do you use birth control and how it influences your progress? So in terms of birth control, there's so many different names for it, like contraception, just the pill, I guess. Like there's quite a few different names, but yes, I'm on the I didn't know I was gonna have to practice how to say this word. Progesterone only pill. That is the one I'm on. I've actually changed to that pill quite recently, and yeah, that is down to, I was getting migraines on the combined pill. So I am on the progesterone only pill called Deserex. I've been on this one for about 2 months. It's the one that you take every single day. You don't actually have like a break with this one. And the lady my doctor who gave it to me did mention that I might not have a period at all, which kind of put me off, because I'm one of these people, I do like to have a period every month just so that I know like everything's working and stuff. However, when I mentioned that to her, I said, oh, I don't know if that would suit me. She did actually say that like whenever you're on any sort of pill, it's kind of like a fake period in a way, which was quite interesting because I didn't really know that. But I have actually been having like a period, if you like, every 4 weeks generally, but it's more kind of like spotting. I'm actually really happy to be talking about this on here because I feel like it's a subject that's not spoken about enough amongst women, and considering such a big percentage of us are on like a contraceptive pill or taking it for other reasons. Like the main reason I started on my Yasmin pill, which was the first one I went on, oh my god, can you hear Penelope snoring in the background? What she thinks of the pill. But yeah, the first pill, the combined one that I was on before this, was mainly for my acne, which really did help for quite a long period of time. So yeah, in terms of like the pill affecting my like fitness, things like that, it hasn't really affected me at all. The only thing I would say is that generally I can tell a difference. Like I've tried quite a lot of different pills in the past, and I definitely have had to like notice my mood swings a lot more, but I just keep an eye on that. And also, the biggest reason I came off my Yasmin pill, the combined one, was that I was getting really severe migraines, that I was getting like white blurs in my eyes and stuff, so I just came straight off that. And I'd really recommend, if you're having any like negative symptoms like that, just get off it. It's clearly not for you. I have actually been thinking about getting the coil that doesn't have like hormones as such in it. I've been thinking about that recently because I'm just sick of putting this kind of stuff into my body. It doesn't really agree with me, and I do feel like my hormones, and I feel like I have a lot more mood swings taking this kind of stuff. So yeah, so that is the pill, but I don't think it affected like me fitness wise, other than, I don't know, like mood swings. So yeah. The next question is, how do you bulk without gaining fat? This is something I get asked quite often. So my approach, and generally to grow muscle mass, you need to be first off in a calorie surplus, and also progressive overloading with resistance training, you know, really focusing on hypertrophy. And the other absolute key important thing is like the quality of the food you're eating. I would say make sure you've got some good high protein sources and like whole foods in your diet, and that way you're not going to put on like absolutely massive of excess fat. But whenever you are like in a bulk to gain weight, you are going to put on like a slight bit of excess fat, but generally it can be different from person to person, like genetically and all of that. But yeah, so that is that one. Next question: what breed is the beautiful Penelope? Penelope is a chow chow. How many times in a week do you train abs? So I actually mainly like train my abs from like compound movements, I guess, like that there's a lot of like core work in like your deadlifts, your squats, and then I will sometimes throw in like an ab circuit once or twice a week. It just depends, but it's not something I train religiously. Next one: are you tracking your meals? Yes, at the moment I have been tracking it, although the past 2 days I haven't tracked. Like, it's not something I'm completely strict with, and because I've tracked macros for quite a long period of time, and I do eat quite a lot of like the similar foods day to day, so I do have an idea of what I've got in stuff, but I'm not sort of like, because I'm not prepping like for a show or anything, I'm not completely like, right, got to track every single day. And if I go out for a meal or something, I'm not, religious basically. Is protein powder really necessary? No, it's not completely necessary. It can just be used as like an add-on. I love having it in my morning oats, but as long as you've got, like other high protein sources from your meats and stuff, then it's definitely not necessary. The next question: how to stop binging? I don't want to trigger anything or anyone by answering this, but first of all, I would definitely say I would get professional help. If it's something that you feel is sort of out of control, I would reach out to someone. That is the definite first step to make, I would say. The other thing is, it could potentially be that you are being restrictive. Whenever I felt the need to binge, it's generally because I've restricted something or said I can't have like a certain food group, and I really don't think that approach is healthy. You can have every single food group in your diet in like moderation, I guess. So yeah, that is what I would say about that question. Next one: what do you do on rest days? Rest days, I like to go on like a little walk. I always take Penelope out every day, and I do some like recovery stuff, maybe some stretches, but not every single rest day. It just depends how I'm feeling, like physically, mentally. But yeah, I love watching like Netflix and just really chilling out on my rest days. Next question: what is your height? So I'm about 5'6.5". Have you ever had any issues, complications with your hormones? Last year I did have a cyst on one of my ovaries. It was actually really crazy. So I went to a medium and had like a reading, and that was my first ever reading, and he actually told me, he said, oh, you need to go and get one of your ovaries looked at, it's nothing serious. They're really common cysts in women. So I went to the doctors purely off what this guy said. I hadn't really had many symptoms other than like acne, and yeah, I had a cyst on one of my ovaries, but it went and everything was fine. Since then I did have like high testosterone for a while, but I've had like tests and stuff since then, like over about a year and a half, and everything's been okay. Do you recommend running or HIIT for purely weight loss? Not necessarily. I think weight training is amazing for weight loss. It just depends on what you prefer, really. There's not a one size like fits all. It's just what you enjoy the most, what's sustainable for you. As long as you're in a calorie deficit via your nutrition or your exercise, that's the main thing that's going to help you with your weight loss and what you can actually sustain. How do you cope with not being able to train due to an injury? Now, girl, I feel you. This is something I really struggle with. I broke my toe a few months ago. It was so funny, actually. I was filming a video for YouTube. It was a cooking, I think it was a meal prep one, and I tripped over Penelope, stubbed my toe. My toe was like that, like supposed to be up there, literally like that, and I couldn't really do that much. It's crazy how much pain that little toe brought me. And I went to, where did we go? To Chile. This was the beginning of this year, actually. God, this year's just flown. Getting distracted. But yeah, I mentioned this in some of my previous vlogs, but I found it really difficult. But basically, you've just got to adapt to like what you can do. There will be certain things. You haven't really mentioned what injury it is, otherwise I would advise you on like maybe some exercise you could do, but I'm sure you could do some other stuff, but just learn to adapt, try and be as positive as you can. You know, really like concentrate on your recovery, because the quicker you look after yourself, the quicker that you can recovery. Like I did make the mistake initially of like trying to do stuff that I wasn't ready to do, and it definitely slowed things down. So just give yourself some time, take a breather, and you'll be back to it in no time at all. Do you believe your cardio or strength training helped you become leaner? It was mainly like all my training is mainly strength training, so yeah, strength training for sure, because that's mainly what I've done. What are some good podcasts you listen to? So I really like Audible, and I listen to this all the time on like my walks and stuff. I've recently been listening to Life Leverage by Rob Moore. What's that? What Mason's doing upstairs. It was absolutely brilliant. Talks loads about like business prioritizing. I've listened to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. These are a lot of like business ones, I guess. But something I'd really recommend is Deepak Chopra, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. If you're like a bit spiritual or anything like that, then that book is absolutely amazing to listen to, and it's not too long. But yeah, this is what I just use on Audible. You do have to pay for them, but this is what I use all the time. I really recommend it. Do you consider yourself someone with a lot of friends or small group of close friends? I feel like, because I've moved around quite a bit, I have a lot of friends in like different places, if you know what I mean. Like rather than, I definitely don't have like one big group of close friends. I did have that in school and stuff, but like since moving around all the place, like definitely not the case anymore. Have you ever suffered from binge eating or constant snacking due to stress? Tips. Yes, I've definitely suffered in the past, mainly when I was at uni and I was quite unhappy, and I was constantly in the kitchen, like just always going to the fridge, and I think that was like just due to just a bunch of things. But I would just say to change up, switch up your environment if you can. Try and avoid, like if you're working from home or something at the moment, try and avoid sitting in the kitchen. And I would say just figure out like what it is you're stressing about, and try and really minimize that, because that's not going to help anything at all. And also you can maybe swap your snacks and stuff for just like vegetables. I love, it sounds really like, well, it sounds a bit weird saying this, but I really like just grabbing carrots from the fridge. They're quite satisfying. Next question is how to lose fat. I went from 61 to 55 kg but still look the same. I would definitely say make sure you go back to like old photos, because I can guarantee you probably don't look the same, but you could have a little bit of like body dysmorphia where you are looking in the mirror and you just don't notice it, you know, because we all see ourselves every single day, so it can be difficult sometimes. So I would definitely take a look at some older pictures. Don't go completely always off the scales, because there's so many variants that come into your scale weight. The next one made me laugh actually. What clock do you use to count calories? I think it meant what app. So I use my FitnessPal to track my macros, and I also just use like a scale that I got off Amazon. I can leave that linked down below. Then next question, can you post more workout videos on YouTube? Yes, definitely. I'm happy to do that. I will film some for you as soon as I can. Next question, how can you put on weight healthily? So just make sure you're in a slight calorie surplus. If you're wanting to do things like slowly and steadily, just do it really, really minimally, slow and steady, and don't rush yourself. Just be patient. Make sure that goes hand in hand with like some strength resistance training. How much time was your last workout? My last workout, I think it was about 45 minutes. It's generally anywhere from half an hour to an hour. Rest days are important, but I get worried to take them. Any tips? So Rest days are the most crucial thing. I've been there in the past where I used to never have a rest day, or I'd have like one, and then I really noticed it, like I was feeling exhausted in my body and just mentally, and rest days are so important for your recovery and also like your gains, your muscle tissues need to repair, everything like that. So it is just sort of about changing your mindset and realising that rest days are actually so beneficial for your body, and just think about your sessions in a different way. Like, you're going to have much better sessions if you're taking 1 to 2 rest days per week. So just work on that mindset shift for that one. When is your new food guide coming out? It will be out now. You can click the link in down below. I'm so excited about that. So the next question, are you 100% vegan or just mostly plant-based? I am neither of the two. I eat meat, and I'm definitely, I'm not plant-based or vegan. How can I reduce fat on my legs? So you can't spot reduce fat. You need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose fat anywhere, but you can't pick and choose. Like, that would be just like overall body fat loss. Do you have to work out every day to see results? Absolutely not. Rest days are actually super beneficial, as I was sort of mentioning earlier on. You're probably going to see much better, and yeah. How do you deal with period cravings? Mine are so bad. I feel you on this. I definitely, on my period, like I know a lot of people actually don't get any cravings at all on their period, but I am one of those. Like, chocolate is my main thing, so I feel you on this. I would just say, like, have something of, have whatever you want in, you know, craving wise. Just have it in like more moderation than anything. And like, try find maybe like little alternatives that help satisfy your cravings, but definitely don't avoid. Phone's just died with those questions on. Maybe that's a sign. That was not the plan. So that brings us to the end of that video. There were quite a lot of other questions on there, but do let me know, do you want me to do another video, like a part 2? There's a lot more like different topics, and a lot of those topics as well, I feel like I could do like a whole video on. So just drop me a message in the comments and I will do whatever. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I would love it if you stuck around and join the fam by subscribing and liking this video. And just to mention, remember, my volume 2 cheat code is out now, so I'll leave that all linked down below, and I'll see you in the next video.